Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Let me just do that. Give the lens a bit of a wipe. Yeah, we're back with another beer review now, and as you may well have seen by the title, we are heading off back over to the Pinter, which is just sitting there, as you can see, and it's a homebrew thing, if you didn't know. And I have brewed the American Pale Ale Stars and Stripes. Once brewed approximately 4.5%. This brew was coming at 4%, 3.96 from the readings. It was brewed for 5 days. It was cold crashed for 1 day to try and get rid of some of that haziness, any of the lumps, because if you chill it for a good day, a lot of the lumps will drop to the bottom and it'll be basically a cleaner beer, if you like. And it was conditioned for 7 days and it was ready yesterday. Now, last time I brewed it, I had trouble with it. It didn't look right, and it certainly looks different now to the last one that I ever done, or the last one that I done. I reviewed it on the Pinter one ages ago. Then I brewed it about a month ago, and it didn't look right. It didn't seem to taste right. I got onto them. They sent me another pack out. Obviously, they questioned me. Oh, how have you done this? What temperature did you brew it at? This, that, and the other. I don't know what temperature I brewed it at. I was just sitting in the kitchen. But yeah. This one is coming in at 4%, like I said. Slightly different, like I said. So they sent me out another pack, which is what I've got here. So I've now brewed this. It's looking a little bit thingy on top, it's got to be said. What I will say with it, it's very lively. The last one was very lively. And it's almost like I've poured about 2 pints and you're getting a lot of head on it. Although it has started to calm down. So you are getting a little bit less head on it. There was still a lot on this, and it has all sort of gone in, and it looks a little bit disgusting on top, so I may well just give it a quick pour before we get going. And it still looks disgusting, whatever. I think what we'll do is we'll do that. And we'll do that, and then I'll get my old skimmer, and we'll make this beer look a bit better, because let's face it, that's not an attractive looking beer, is it? So we'll skim it off, flick that onto my bar towel, and that can go in the wash. So, let's get going. I've done a video before of this and I've fucking deleted it. It went that bad. Anyway, beer in a glass. American Stars and Stripes from the Pinter. Homebrew. Should be coming out at 4.5% approximately. This has come out at 4%. Beer in a glass. Now, like I said, had lots of problems. The last one I actually brewed, I think the first 3 pints were all foam. This is sort of similar to that. The idea of it is you're supposed to be able to pour it gently so you don't get too much foam, but this one must be one that just builds up a load of foam and you've just got to clear that initial outlay out. So the beer, once settled, there we go, once settled, is amber in colour, slightly hazy with a big white fluffy head that is going to go in on itself. It looks nice and compact. I'm not seeing any bubbles or anything, but this has been poured for a bit, so it's probably going down a bit. There is a few bubbles going up, actually. So yeah, let's try and give it a swirl and dive in on the nose. Now, I have actually made some notes, just because I want to make sure that this beer really is representing the style, because last time it didn't at all. It really didn't. So, what it's told me, I had a quick look online and that. Fruity, floral, citrus, pine and resinous from the American hops. The body should be medium. A low caramel note and toasted malt. That's what we should be getting from that sort of style, American Pale Ale. So I'm going to dive in with the nose. Let's have a sniff. Yep, malty. You could say toasty, even on the nose. That sort of like toasted malt. A low caramel, a little bit of sweetness, yes. That's all I'm really getting. I'm not really getting so much of the hop notes or anything. There is a subtle fruitiness to it, but I can't really say I'm getting anything floral, citrus or pine out of it on the nose for me. But that was just a general thing that you should get from it. It's not going to say that you're getting that from the nose. I'm just taking everything as general thing. But really, probably all of this is what I should be getting in the taste. So let's dive in on Stars and Stripes American Pale Ale on the Pinter, 4% ABV. Let's dive in. Cheers. See if we have more luck. Okay. Yeah. Does it still taste like a lot of the other Pinter brews? Yes. They seem to have this distinct sort of taste in there that makes them taste sort of similar. What I can say is this is definitely a lot darker than the last time I brewed it, so that's a promising sign. Let's go in again. Well, if I'm right saying this is coming in at 4% ABV, if everything is right there, the body on this, medium body, I think that's a decent body. Decent body for something at 4%. Low carbonation. So minimal fizz in there. You wouldn't think so with all the bloody head that's coming out. But yeah, minimal carbonation, which is nice. There's just a little fizz on it. Makes it nice and smooth. Gives it a nice mouthfeel. You certainly get some flavours coming through on the end. I think you get a lot. What I've written down seems to be coming through sort of more backwards. Okay, so you do get the hoppy notes there. It is fruity. Not massively fruity, but the fruitiness is there. You definitely get that pine, resinous, bitterness. The more you drink, that is coming in, but it really sort of tails off and lingers on the back end. Citrus in there. That resinous is almost citrus and pine, sort of resinous. Sort of like an orange citrus, sort of resinous. The caramel notes in there, I think they are there. They are very, very subtle in there. The hoppy notes and the fruity notes and the resinous and the pine is a little bit sort of taken over a little bit, but the caramel notes are in there. They're subtle and in the background. And there is a maltiness in there. Now, for me, the sort of maltiness and the caramel notes were more at the forefront. I'd had some of this before doing this video, and that's where I picked up more of the caramel notes and the maltiness on the taste. The more I'm having, the more that sort of fruity citrus pine resinous is coming through. But is it any good? Yeah, it ain't bad. It's from the notes I've made, it's ticking a lot of the boxes. This one is. Granted, that is just a general sort of thing about American pale ales. But it's there. I would say the more you have, you start losing the malty side of it and that little bit of sweetness. But the rest of it is sort of there. And really, you can't really knock it. The only sort of downside I've got with this at the moment, and hopefully that will calm down with the more pints I pull out of this, is the carbonation. Because it is just wild as you like. 4%, does it drink like that? Well, it's certainly got a good body for 4%. Certainly got plenty of flavour in there for 4%. It does feel like it lacks something a little bit. Could just be me. Definitely got a big bitterness for that 4%. So yeah, in a way, you don't get any of the alcohol sort of thing, but you certainly get the impression this is bigger than 4%. Again, my readings and that could be wrong, but the original starting gravity was 1.042, finishing was 1.12 or 1.012. So basically, yeah, from 42 down to 12. So there you go. I'm going to give it another quick pour while we're here, because I'm interested to see how we're going to go with this. If I'm a bit more vigorous, yeah, the head is going to build up. I think you do have to open it a bit more, but you still get quite a bit of foam coming out of there. But that is definitely a damn sight better. And there is carbonation coming up there, I can see that. But that is definitely a damn sight better at the moment. Maybe this just needs opening up a little bit more rather than trying to force that head through a narrow gap, which may well make the head even bigger. I don't know. But overall, Stars and Stripes American Pale Ale on the Pinter. Get rid of all that head bit. It's not a bad beer. It's not a bad beer. So, yeah, if you've got a Pinter, give it a go. If you've got all the Pinter 3, let me know what your experiences are with this beer. Like I say, the last one, there was definitely something different to that because that's a totally different colour. Have you been struggling with the head on this beer? I don't know. Let me know. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon on another one. Cheers.